have things that come into our lives that get into that bowl of light, that add, like, just rocks and boulders and anger and sadness. Are you with me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah.
Hmm.
And so that bowl of light gets diminished, and that light gets dimmed. And so what Stephanie and I do, and what Thaeda does, and what Joanne does, we are all here to help you shine your light. And so today we want to invite you to take that bowl of light that's diminished, that's covered, right? And just turn it over and let all the heaviness fall out, and turn it back over again so that your light is shining brightly into this world, because this world needs your light. And so that's what that's the story of the bowl of light. And that's what we're here to do today.
Yeah. Great. So thank you so much. Yeah. And I realized as you were telling the bowl of light story that I didn't actually hit the record button because I was dealing with the AI recording of voice notes, but yeah. So fix that. Anyhow, yeah, we want you guys to, get comfortable. I'm psyched to see a couple people like getting their blankies, getting cozy for this little bit. Do whatever it takes to be comfortable. Shares. So, again, I'm Stephanie Keenan Ray. I'm from Worcester, Massachusetts, and just felt the need to put this together. So, I'm gonna just call at how you are on my screen, I think. So, Joanne, would you go next?
Well, I just think it's wonderful that Stephanie and Wendy just took the initiative and put this together so quickly. So we all need much more light in our lives these days.
Awesome.
I am Joanne Sorenson. I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota, near the eye of the storm these days. And I am a retired Lutheran pastor. And in the last couple of years, I've been spending a lot of my time and energy creating civil rights pilgrimages.
Hmm.
So I've been taking groups on a civil rights tour to Alabama and studying kind of the highlights, walking across the bridge in Selma and things like that.
Hmm.
So
And
this moment is really, really interesting because there's so many overlaps to what has happened in our history. So I'm happy to bring a couple of thoughts.
yes, yes, I texted her earlier in the week and said, "Will you share your freedom fighting experiences with us?" And she was like, "I'm not. No, that's a big honor, you know." And I was like, "You are a modern day freedom fighter. You absolutely are." So
I
thank
love to
you.
do that. I've never thought of that term as applied to me exactly, but thank you.
Yep. Theta, can you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Thaeda Franz. I live in what I lovingly refer to as Pennsylvania. I'm about 45 minutes north of Lancaster, if you know where Lancaster is, and if you don't, that's okay. Google is free. And I am here because I was invited. I was so excited to be invited. I will be anchoring in some divine energy and channeling into the group some healing and divine energy. And I'm looking forward to that so much. So it's a delight to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Wendy, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Wendy Taddeucci. I am in northern Indiana, where it's 19 degrees, and that's a heat wave. Let's see. And I'm going to be doing some guiding you through some meditations today, and some journaling prompts. So, welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here.
Great, great. So I think that's everyone who wants to introduce themselves. So I am going to now ask Wendy to lead us in a quick, well, not a quick, however long meditation that she has, a little introductory meditation. So go ahead, Wendy.
Yes, and before I do that, can everybody hear me? Because I know I was having some audio issues. Beautiful. Before I start the meditation, I have to give credit where credit is due. Stephanie called me Tuesday morning. I had just finished lining one of my eyes. I hadn't finished this one yet, right? So I'm taking the call, and she said, a lot of people we know Wendy, are struggling and it's hard. And do you want to do something? And I was like, yes. Stephanie has taken the reins and run with this. This is all her. And so I just want to, yeah, let's send her up some hearts and some love. And so thank you, Stephanie,
Thank you.
for bringing this into the world and into being.
Of course.
And with that, let's go ahead and have some time for meditation. And so before we do that, I want to invite you to gather what it is that you might need. If it's crystals, if it's rosary beads, if it's a blanket, if it's a stuffed animal, if it's essential oil, whatever you need, go ahead and gather that if you're called to do so. And let's begin. I invite you to take a slow breath in through your nose and gently sigh it out through your mouth. Again, breathing in and releasing. Allow your shoulders to soften. Allow your jaw to unclench. Let your body know for these next few minutes, you don't have to hold everything up. You are being held here. I invite you to notice the weight you may have been carrying. Not just your own, but the collective heaviness, the worry, the noise, the ache for things to be different. You don't have to push it away. Only acknowledge it. Yes, it's been a lot. And still, your light is here. I invite you to imagine a soft violet light above you. It is gentle. It is loving. It is steady. A light that helps us be with what we're feeling without being overwhelmed by it. I invite you to see this light slowly pouring down over you like a warm, luminous rain. It touches your head, your shoulders, your heart. And I invite you to notice what might be there. Anger, confusion, sadness, grief, heaviness. You don't have to push any of it away. Only see it. And I invite you to let the light meet these feelings with tenderness. As if you are saying, I see you. I understand you've been trying to protect me. Thank you for what you've carried. And now gently ask, what here is ready to soften? What here is no longer serving me? What is dimming my light? And ask without force, without pressure. Allow the light to hold these parts of you. Anything that is not meant to stay can begin to loosen, to lift, to return to the larger field of love and healing. You are not rejecting your feelings. You are loving them and choosing not to let them define your light. I invite you to bring your awareness to your chest, right in the center. There's a small glow there. That is your inner light, your essence, your soul. The world may feel dark sometimes, but this light inside of you has never gone out. With each breath, see it growing brighter, warmer, steadier. This is the light you bring into rooms, into conversations, into quiet moments that no one sees. Your light still matters. Your presence still matters. I invite you to imagine everyone here, each person with their own small light in their heart. See them all glowing. Different stories, different lives. One shared humanity. We don't heal the world by hardening. We heal it by holding the light together. And as you are doing that right now, just by being here, I invite you to take one more slow breath in. And as you exhale, silently say, my feelings are welcome here. My light leads. I release what no longer serves me. I choose to lean into the light. I invite you to feel your body. Feel the chair that you are sitting in that's supporting you. Feel your feet grounded into the earth. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. You are lighter, you are supported, and you do not walk alone.
All right, how'd that feel for everybody? Okay, so I'm going to quickly bring us into a little EFT tapping. So EFT tapping is the emotional freedom technique, and it's all about releasing. It's going to help us release the heaviness, regulate our bodies during this like confusing, anxious time. It helps our nervous system find peace and signals like that it's okay to that you're safe, you know. So what I will walk you through it. Basically, we'll be tapping different parts of our bodies, and I'll be saying statements, and you're going to repeat them with me as we're tapping. We will tap the side of our hand first, and then we do our, I'm going to take my glasses off, our eyebrows. So it's just the very start of your eyebrows, the side of your eyes right here you'll tap, under your eyes, under the nose, your chin, your collarbone, and then under the arms I kind of hug myself and just tap like my armpit area, and then we'll do the top of the head. So we'll go through around a series of those. So the first round is basically setting up like how we might be feeling right now, that heaviness, the sadness, all the things that might be surrounding us. And then the next round is going to be a shift of softening it. And then the final round is to truly integrate it. So it's going to be 3 rounds of tapping. And so first we're going to start with tapping the side of our hand. And we're going to say, even though I'm feeling overwhelmed and unsure of how to shine right now, I am open to finding a little more peace in this moment. All right, so now we're going to move to our eyebrows. This heaviness I'm carrying. We're going to go to the side of our eyes. All the emotions I don't know what to do with. Under our eyes. The sadness, anger, fear, and exhaustion. Under the nose. Feeling the weight of what's happening in the world. Chin. Caring so deeply can feel so heavy. And we're going to tap our collarbone. Part of me feels tired and discouraged. Underarms. Part of me wants to hide or shut down. And top of head. And part of me still wants to shine. Now we're going to go back to our eyebrows. I don't have to carry this alone. Side of the eyes. I'm allowed to pause and breathe. Under eye. I'm allowed to, I can carry deeply and still protect my peace. Under the nose. My inner calm is a form of strength. Chin. I can speak truth without abandoning myself. Collarbone. I choose peace in my body right now. Underarms. I allow my light to glow gently, not forcefully. And top of head. Even a small light matters. All right, we're going to go back to our brows. I honor my heart. Side of eye. I honor my humanity. Under eye. I honor my need to rest and renew. Under the nose. My light doesn't have to be loud. Chin. My presence is enough. Collarbone. I am grounded, supported, and connected. And top of head. Oh, wait. Yeah, top of head. I choose peace, courage, and compassion. And just take a nice deep breath in. I just notice if anything shifted in you, in your energy, and how your body feels. I find that EFT can be very fast shift, and even when you don't think you need it, you just feel a little lighter. Or so feel free to put in the chat if you noticed anything. And at this point, I am going to hand it off to Thaeda to share her magic with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that, Stephanie. I don't know about anybody else, but wow, that was really grounding and peaceful. That was beautiful. My part here is to bring in energy to help clear fear, to enliven in order to replace exhaustion, to replenish and magnify that inner light that Wendy was talking about in her meditation, and restoring a sense of wholeness. We can feel so separate and all by ourselves in this. And so I will be inviting energy that reminds us of our connection to each other and to what I call the great goodness, the divine beloved, the great mystery, whatever your name is for that greater than. It can be God if you like. I know some people cringe when they hear that, so I have different names for the divine beloved. We're bringing in some restorative energy, and all that is needed for you to receive this divine energy, this healing energy, is intention and openness. If you intend to receive it, you will. If you do not want to receive it, you do not have to. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Whatever feels good and right to your precious heart. And as I've received the energy and channeling it out to you, it might come in different ways. It might come as words. It might come as song. There might be some silence. You might see me moving my hands. And we're just going to be in a space of gratitude. Thank you to the great goodness, to the greater than, that we can be in the awareness that we are not alone in this. Thank you that we can remember our light. Inviting each of you now, if you choose, to see that light within yourself again. Seeing that light, receiving divine light into itself, a beautiful glowing softness coming into your divine light, filling every cell of your being with light, remembering you are light, thanking the angels and bringers of light, grateful to remember we are from the light. Thank you for this opportunity to receive, to be restored, to be filled. It's like our souls are thirsty. We're needing that energy to flow into us from the great goodness, from that which is our source. Receiving, receiving, receive, receive love, receive, receive peace, receive grace, receive joy, receive hope, Receive compassion and strength. Receive the light. Receive the light. Receiving the light into yourself, the light of love, the light of strength, the light of hope, of grace, of mercy, of compassion, of ease, of joy, of delight, of dancing and singing, of life and love. Receive that into your precious heart. Receive the light of love. Receiving now that precious light in every cell. Receiving health of every kind. Receiving wholeness by design. You are whole. You are holy. You are strength. You are glory. Receiving joy. Receiving love. Receiving all of the good available to you. Receiving and open, always aware that you are a part of the one that is the all. And for all of this good, this health, this love, this joy, this grace, this mercy, and this compassion, we now say thank you. Letting your heart just say thank you. Thank you for the good. Thank you for the rest. Thank you for the peace. We're just going to have a moment of quiet here. Taking it all in. And so it is.
Thank you, Theta. All right. Okay. So now Wendy and I are gonna lead some more creative ends of things. So she's going to guide us in some journal prompts, and then I'm going to do a creative prompt. I'd say a few minutes, a couple minutes for each of us. So Wendy, would you like to lead the journals?
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you. Thank you for asking. And Theta, thank you. I am receiving. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, where did I put the journaling prompts? Hang on. I'm so caught up. Here we are. Okay. I feel like before we dive into the journaling prompts, let's do one round of breathing just to process what we have been receiving. So I invite you to plant both feet on the floor if you're able to. Place your hand over your heart, on your heart. Notice your heart beating. And I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. I'm going to do that 2 more times. And the next time you take an inhale in through your nose, just imagine yourself breathing in beautiful, warm light. And on the exhale, I invite you to imagine exhaling everything that no longer serves you. you no longer want to hold on to, that's not for you. So we're going to take a deep breath in through our nose and exhale out of our mouths. And once more, I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale. When you're ready, open your eyes. And let's journal. And journaling for you could be as simple as getting a scrap piece of paper out, opening a note on your phone. It could just be simply being here and receiving the journaling prompts. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And I invite you to journal on one question. What feels dim? What feels dim or tired in me right now? I'm going to put that in the chat in case you desire to see that. There we go. What feels dim or tired in me right now? Give you a couple seconds with that. And if you're still journaling, that's perfect. Keep on going. Or go ahead and stop, whatever feels good for you. I have a follow-up question to that question. What do you need? What do you need? I'm going to put that in the chat also. And if it feels good, if it feels in alignment with you, I invite you to share what you wrote, what you journaled on in the chat. Because as a collective coming together, we shine our light by sharing what we are noticing and what we desire. And I feel like now might be a good time. Wasn't planning on doing this. Hold on to your hats. Steph is used to this. Thanks, Jess, for putting your hat on. I'm called to invite everyone to shake away what's no longer serving you. Just shake it away. Shake it away. Shake away what is no longer serving you. Get it out of your heart, get it out of your head, get it out of your system. Just shake it away. And imagine it's just evaporating, it's disappearing as you're shaking it out from your fingertips. It's gone. And now I invite everyone to bring into their heart, their soul, what it is you desire to receive, what it is that you need. Hope, love, compassion, what it is that you receive. Thank you for allowing us to see that. We see you, and we're holding you, and we're shining our light out to you. And I invite you to just hold this journaling prompt in your head and in your heart. And if you weren't sure, that's okay what to write. Just notice. Just let it be. And thank you for letting that come out and for showing that and allowing us to be with you in this. Love and humanity. Thank you. More of this, please. Okay, Steph.
All right. So we're going to do a quick drawing exercise. For me, I feel like creativity is a big key to letting things go, and also sometimes finding the things that we want to have. So what we're going to do is it's an exercise called Tending the Flame. And it's going to hopefully create a little hope and some resilience in our inner light. So what we're going to do first is just grab a piece of paper and a pencil or pen and just draw a flame or a light source. Your inner light, it could be a candle, it could be the sun, it could be a spark, a glowing orb. Whatever works for you. And you know what? It doesn't have to, even if you don't consider yourself a great artist, that is okay. It just has to mean something to you when you look at it, okay? And once you have your light, you're going to draw around it, draw around the flames, like the things that will feed the flame. So lines, symbols, anything that will nourish and protect and strengthen your light. So whatever it is that's going to help support you, it could be rest, it could be truth, communities, boundaries, breath. And you can use symbols, you can use words, whatever works for you. Stick figures mean the same thing as great portraits. All right, once we've drawn a few of our things that will nourish and strengthen us, we're going to now, on the outside of that, draw things that would threaten the flame. So, and you want to just kind of draw it lightly. Things like noise, fear, exhaustion. You could even make like a barrier around your flame, but okay. And then once you have those things, I want you to choose one of the nourishing things and just, it might be the one that's most important to you, and just darken it, thicken it, like, you know, really make that one noticeable. And then we're going to erase or cross out one of the things that drains you, something that you're going to let go of. and your light doesn't need to be brighter. It just needs to be tended to. So that is what this whole activity is all about. It's kind of what this whole event is about, is tending to our light. So that's what that was for. So hopefully it was a helpful activity, allowing you to visibly see the things that are important that you need to hold on to and the things that you need to let go of. All right. And so I'm all set. Now I'm going to hand it to Joanne to share about speaking out without burning out. Or you had a better phrase. You had a better topic. I know you did.
Yeah, that's okay. I have a couple things to say. I don't remember the title.
It's okay. Doesn't matter.
There's a couple things I jotted down, and I'm going to try to get those in the chat if I can figure out how to do that.
Okay.
So just to give you a little history, I've been leading these civil rights trips for a couple of years now, and there's a lot of amazing things I could tell you, but one of the most powerful moments for me was on one of the very first times I did the trip. The group that I was with walked the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, and having read about that and seen the TV version of that when I was, I don't know, 7 or whatever age I was when the actual event happened, the actual March on Washington, I remember my parents watching the TV when the folks started to walk across the bridge and got to the end of it, and they started beating them.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my parents just being horrified because they knew about the civil rights movement, but they didn't realize in real time what this meant, that people were being beaten, and their views on it changed at that moment, just like now when we see video of things that are actually happening. So that was burned into my mind from a young age. And so standing there on the bridge and singing "We Shall Overcome" and remembering the history was just incredibly powerful. And it really brought home to me the power that we have when we join with other people and take a stand or sing a song or join a rally. It might not seem like a big thing, but when we're together, that's a huge amount of power that we have to take that light and move it out into the darkness. And so taking all these practices that you all have led so well and then moving them out into the world is just so powerful. And it's been interesting and fun to watch people at the end of the trip after those experiences and what they take away and how they understand the moment we're in a different way. And then now, with this latest, what we've been facing in just recent weeks brings all of that history of the movement back in the 50s and 60s to the present, and realizing that we have the same tools and much more strongly. And there's so many people understanding that and standing together against this darkness. And even though there's days when we can just despair and cry out and say, enough lies, enough. We look around and see so many people here in the Twin Cities. There's people on street corners and across from their schools standing, watching for kids to come out of school and protecting them. And thousands of people now packing boxes of food and bringing them, driving them to people in Hispanic and Somali communities that aren't leaving their homes out of fear, and then bringing them what they need, raising money so that they can pay the rent for this next month. It's just overwhelming to see this. It's not like there's one person taking the lead. It's just springing up out of neighborhoods, just grassroots. It's just so exciting to see that. And yet what we're facing in the brutality in the streets is just something that we haven't seen ever, most of us, in our lifetime. So I'm just going to name a few things that are important for us to be involved in. And what I want you to know is that all of these things are things that you can choose to do, but you don't have to do any one of them or all of them. I just talked with a friend who's feeling bad because she just feels fearful of being out in a protest or in a rally out in public. And there's so many other things to do. I feel bad that she feels bad about that because there's other things to do. And so I have a little list. Can I share the screen? I'm not sure. Can I do that? Okay, so just a few things that I noted, and I'll show it to you later. Things you can do to push back against authoritarianism. Attend a street corner or bridge rally or protest. And if you're in the Twin Cities, which most of you are not, they're all over the place. They're on street corners and bridges over the freeway. And there's so many, and there are more every day. And there's probably some not too far from you. And around here, there's usually someone there who's an organizer, and they're part of a rapid response network. It's usually on Signal, so that people can share information and know when the times change and things like that. That's something to do, and you can make a sign and bring to that event. Another thing to do that I'm sure you've heard is write letters to your Congress and Senate representatives. You can call them. And there's an app called 5 Calls. You can look it up and download it on your phone, and it gives you put in your area, and it tells you who your representatives are, who your senators are, and you click your favorite topic, and it gives you the script, what to tell them, and the phone number to call them. It's great. Makes it really easy. You can go to a website called, and I'll share this with you later, signsofjustice.com, and there's a postcard called We the People that explains what we want to be free of authoritarianism, and you can get them by the hundreds and thousands and send them out to people you know, send them out to your representatives, and just flood the zone with cards like that. You can boycott large companies that aren't speaking out. In Minneapolis here, we have the headquarters for Target, and they are not saying anything and not speaking out about the fact that their own employees are being disappeared. And so people are going in groups to their downtown headquarters to demand that they say, we're a Fourth Amendment business. We won't allow ICE in our business without a warrant, and we're going to protect our employees. You can check out groups like Indivisible, and it's called 50501 or 5051. And they're on Facebook, and they have websites, and they have lists of protests and gatherings all over the country, and all kinds of information about online meetings that are coming up to give you instructions, all kinds of things. Another really good thing to do is, get out of this here. I have to find you all again here. Another great thing to do is to go to a training by Monarca or another immigrant support network that tells you your rights as an observer. There's literally thousands of people around here in the Twin Cities going through a training every day because it's so important. It's really not hard. It just tells you your rights. You can videotape, you can watch, as long as you don't get in the face of what they're doing, you can stand back and then report that, what you see, and send your videos to certain places. It's important to know what your rights are, even though here ICE has been arresting people even just for being present or for taking pictures, which is not, I mean, that's not legal. It's not constitutional. That's your right to do. So it's important just to know those things and to know what to say. If they stop you in your car and demand something, you can say, am I under arrest? And if they say no, you say, am I free to leave? And then you leave. I mean, to not get into conversations, to just say very little. So that's just some of the many, many things. There's lots more. And probably you all have lists of things that you are either doing or other ideas that you have. I think one thing that I've seen around here that's just amazing is people being neighbors. Sometimes we know our neighbors, sometimes we don't, but people are stepping up and going door to door to find out what their neighbors are doing. If they're staying home and not going out, what do they need? Can I bring you? Can I help out? just as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been amazing to watch. And then, of course, all these self-care things that you are teaching so well and taking care to do those things daily. I've been working on, I like to write poems, and I've been really struggling right now to see the humanity in people that are acting like they're not human.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm writing a poem right now about a person who has their mask on and all this stuff and all these weapons. And I'm saying, and you're choosing to spend your days dragging people and zip tying them. How can, that boggles my mind how somebody who's wants to think of themselves as a caring human being can do that, but they have reasons. So I'm writing about that so I can convince myself that there's still human beings in there, even those broken people, and we all have our issues, but I'm trying to hold on to that so that if we don't, then we fall into hatred, and that's a place we just can't go. We can't afford to go there. So.
Yeah. Can you share real fast, like, because I know you've been on the front lines. So one of the things I don't know. Well, you saw my post. The first couple weeks of January, I was struggling hard, and I kind of wasn't acknowledging it. I was going through the motions, and then you had posted, and then Renee got murdered, and you had posted yourself and you posted a post of some clergy in Minnesota singing This Little Light of Mine, and that fixed it. It helped me so much because I had been doing the doom scrolling, and trying to figure out why, and as if any of it's going to come to me, right? And then I saw that, and of course, watching it, I start singing the song in my head, and that makes my heart lift. And so for the rest of, probably that week, I was singing that song, but literally that first 24 hours, like almost every hour, even in my sleep, I was singing that song to myself. And it really helped. And so, and ironically, then apparently I sent it via sleep to Wendy, and Wendy.
No. So this is the power of love, of hope, so here's what happened. Steph has this little ditty running through her head. I don't know this. We hadn't talked. It was that weird time between like holidays and stuff, whatever it was. And the next time we talked, she mentioned this. That night, before we even talked, I woke up in the middle of the night. Took me a little while, got back to sleep. I was kind of restless, but this song, This Little Light of Mine, it's running in my head. And I'm like, okay, that's all right, great. Thank you. I'm trying to sleep, but great. Right. And so literally the next morning, Steph and I had a podcast recording, and we're just chit-chatting ahead of time. And she's like, oh, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I was like reciting it to myself in the middle of the night, and she was like, what? So yeah,
that's the power of this.
Yeah, being in community. So I'd love to hear some more stories, like just real fast little bits of like,
I was going to talk about the airport thing we did.
Yeah.
So as soon as Renee Good was killed, I got a note through a clergy network that I'm on in Signal, and they said right away, immediately, drop what you're doing and go to 34th and Portland for a vigil. So there were about 40 clergy, and I'm not that far, so I jumped in the car and drove over there. And we just stood in the area where other people were gathering and just sang songs and held hands. And it was, I don't know how to describe what happened, but I felt like the world was literally shifting. And a week later, we had a press conference in the same area, and about 200 clergy, all different faiths, backgrounds, people of no faith, imams, Jewish rabbis. It was incredible. And we just sat there, and some people spoke, and you could hear the drones above us. I'm thinking, well, I guess they got my information now, so too late for me. But anyway, it was just a powerful experience of all of a sudden the community is coalescing. And then there was a plan. There's a group in Minnesota called Isaiah. It's a faith-based advocacy group for lots of issues. And they came together and organized like overnight. And there was organizers planning a protest or rally, I don't know what they called it, at the airport. So about 1,000 people, something like that, showed up across from the departure at Minneapolis St. Paul Airport. And then the clergy had a special meeting, and those who were willing were agreed to be arrested if they would go out in the street, which was outside of the protest area, kneel down, and the airport police, I wasn't there thankfully, but the airport police would then arrest them for being outside the area. So about 100 clergy were willing to do that, and they went out and kneeled down, and we were all singing This Little Light of Mine and other songs, Hold On, Hold On. And they came up and they were just very professional, and they took each one of the people that were down there and then put them on a bus, and I guess gave them a citation, and then they let them go later.
Yeah.
But unlike, who was it, Amy, that has been arrested? I haven't been actually arrested. I've been in events like that.
Yeah.
But to be there and watch that was so powerful. And to realize that that's going to go national and people are going to see that. And what does it say to you when your community is arresting people of faith across the board? What is that message? That's a powerful message. What is going on when they're arresting people of faith? We're leaders. So just to watch that happen, even though it was 10 below, it was an amazing experience. So I was so glad I was there. And also to see the organizing that's starting to come together.
Yeah.
It's really incredible.
It is quite.
So all those group events that you can do, and whatever you choose to do, do it with a group, even if you write some postcards, get together with other people and do it, because it's just much more fun and more strengthening for yourself when you do those things with groups of like-minded people.
True. Yes.
I also put in the chat for you, I just listed the 6 principles of nonviolence. And likely a lot of you already know what those are. But Martin Luther King had these principles that he basically took the ethics of Jesus and wrote them out in this way. They're really based on things that Jesus said, but they're not from the Bible per se. They're just ways that we act in the world to promote love and get rid of hate. Nonviolence is a way of life for courageous people. Nonviolence seeks to win friendship and understanding, seeks to defeat injustice, not people. Nonviolence holds that suffering can educate and transform. Nonviolence chooses love instead of hate and believes that the universe is on the side of justice. And so all of those things are part of what we're working on together as a people. I see so many groups coming together on the cities, but at the same time, people are gathering, taking pictures of ICE, but they're also screaming at them.
Yeah.
But they're also saying, fuck ICE, fuck ICE. And that bothers me because I feel like that's verbal violence. And I know people have things they want to say, and it's fine to make noise, but there's a line, even with smaller things, that for me feels like violence, and they are so violent. And the power of that restraint is what changes. That's the spiritual power that changes what's happening. And Martin Luther King understood that in a way that no one else has. But now we all understand what he meant. And now we can all practice those things. It's not just a group of us.
Yeah.
So, so powerful.
Thank you.
So there's a couple things for you to be reminded of. And if you're interested, there's a whole course in nonviolent principles at the King Center. And where I end my trip at the King Center in Atlanta. And you can go on their website, thekingcenter.org, I believe it is. And they have a whole course you can sign up for in Kenyan nonviolence. and I haven't taken the course, but I would love to. It costs a little bit, but it's worth it.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. Anybody have any questions for
Yeah,
Joanne
sure.
or anything?
Let's see. So we thought we'd give everyone an opportunity to just share. You don't have to, whatever feels good. What is it that you are reclaiming? What do you want to send out into the world? What do you want to share here? It's all welcome. It's all open. This is the safe space to share that. So unmute and blurt, put it in the chat, whatever feels good for you. Theta's laughing. Thank you. I love making Theta laugh.
It's not hard.
Okay.
I love that Theta called God the great goodness. You said that when you were beginning. The great goodness. I love that. It's like when we do these things, we're sending goodness out into the world.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. Yeah.
I want to, what I want to reclaim, I want to spend more of my imaginative time seeing the world I want instead of the one that scares me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Manifesting that.
I think I just need to continue being in these communities where we're positive and sharing the light, and it keeps me uplifted.
Yeah. That's it. A rising tide lifts all boats. Isn't that the thing?
That's the thing. All right. Just going to close out with a couple breaths. So I just invite you to take a couple deep breaths, slow, deep breaths in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale and soften as you exhale. One more time, inhale and fully release. And now silently or out loud, you can repeat after me. I am grounded in this moment. I am allowed to care and still protect my peace. My light does not need to be loud to be powerful. I carry calm, clarity, and compassion with me. I carry my light with care, and it shines without effort. And one more deep breath in, and let it out. So basically we just want to finish up, say thank you. If there is a word that you would say you're taking with you after this event, I'd love for you to put it in the chat. Peace, light, calm. Love it. Peace of soul. Joy as resistance. Nice. Helpful. Hope. Excellent. Yes. Peace within and courage with compassion. That's what this was all about. So we encourage you to lean into some of the things we've tried today, the breath work, the meditation, the mindfulness, the tools that Joanne gave you. If you need support, feel free to reach out to any of us. I think we could all put our ways to reach out or ways to find us on in the chat. Like I'll put my link tree in there in a second, which has like all the links to all the things.
It sure does.
It does. And you know, I hope this helps you be able to shine your light at home, in your work, in your town, and beyond. And because when you shine your light, it helps others shine theirs too. And no matter what, I hope you remember that you're not alone. Your light matters, even if it feels small. You still matter. Hopefully, we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.